Hello, and a warm welcome to the introduction webinar for the European Changemakers online course. If you're watching this, you've probably signed up to join our first ever online course on campaign basics and strategy. And a big thank you for being here. So the webinar today will try to cover the basics in how to use the platform and what the course is going to entail. So before we begin, I'd like to introduce my co-facilitators today. We have Daniel from the ICNC.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel with ICNC, and I'll give a longer introduction later about the International Center on Nonviolent Conflict and what we do.
And we have Natalia.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Natalia. I work for Greenpeace Greece for the European Changemakers project.
And my name is Carl, and I work for the European Changemakers in the Nordic countries as a community manager, and also been working on this online course. So first off, the European Changemakers. This is a project that is a collaboration between the Greenpeace and the civil rights defenders. And we're hoping to be able to support and build capacity building for grassroots movements and activists all around Europe and hopefully further on as well. We were founded on the idea that these large NGOs, they are doing a lot, but to create large social change and engagement, what we really need is ordinary people doing extraordinary things and engaging on issues that matter to them. So to do that, we've created a number of different toolkits and courses, camps and trainings to be able to support as many people as possible. And if you're curious about knowing more about European Changemakers and the other ways you can get involved, please go to europeanchangemakers.org to see our toolkit and the project as a whole. And this online course is a big step for us, wanting to reach as many people as possible and making it possible for you to start your own campaigns and build your campaigns as effectively as possible. And in order to do that, we've engaged and worked with the ICNC, the International Center on Nonviolent Conflict. And Daniel, do you want to give us a little bit of an introduction to that?
Yeah, thank you, Carl. So, like Carl said, ICNC is the International Center on Nonviolent Conflict. The simplest way to put what we do is we research civil resistance, and we try to share what we find as broadly as possible. And so we use social science methods to research the different topics related, but we primarily look at it both as an academic field and a practical field. So both the theory and the practice of civil resistance. And our mission is really to share that information with anybody who's interested. We want to make this information available to ordinary people all over the world. We do that through online webinars, online courses, free publications. We have special reports that we do. Later on in this webinar, I'll be showing you a bit more about some of our resources. But we have a wide range of free resources. Almost everything we do, we share online for free, because we believe that civil resistance is a very important field. It's a very exciting time to be studying this and practicing it. We want to make sure that people basically all over the globe have access to the information that they need as ordinary people to bring about positive change in their societies. What we do, I'd encourage people to look at our website if you want to learn more about us.
Thank you, Daniel. And on this really wonderful platform that ICNC is hosting, we are building an online course on campaign strategy. And Natalia, can you tell us more about how the course is built?
Thank you, Carl. So we are just starting with week 0, which is an introductory week. You will have the opportunity to introduce yourselves to the rest of the learners and find your offline study circle. What is the offline study circle? I'm starting with this because this is a great challenge for us and something that we would really love to see happening. So moving from online to offline to real life. You will see that there is a map on week 0 where you can pin your location and see if there are people from your area that you can reach out to and create a study circle and work on all the exercises together. So what the content is going to be of each week of the 5 weeks of the course. On week 1, we will talk about nonviolent movements and social change. We will explore the dynamics and the relations of power and see how social movements can change these relations. People power can change these relations of power that we very often think are difficult to change. And we will also start talking about campaigns. Why is it important to have a plan? Then on week 2, we will get into the campaign jargon. We will start talking about objectives, smart goals. You will learn what smart goals are, but they are smart, trust us. And we'll start working on the path to follow in order to have a campaign, our strategy. Then on week 3, we will start talking about the framing of our campaign and do what we call the power mapping. So actually measure, see who our allies are, who our opponents are, and how we can move the opponents and get stronger together with our allies. Then on week 4, we're going to go into tactics. And this is what you're actually going to do with your campaign, your action plan. Is it going to be a protest? Is it going to be a blockade? Is it going to be a petition? We will talk about creative tactics, about escalation in your campaign, so you don't start with the more powerful thing to do, but you escalate, you go step by step. And we will also talk about your targets in each step of the way. Then on week 5, we're going to talk about communication, because no campaign can make it without a proper communication strategy behind it. So we're going to talk about audiences and how to identify your target audiences, that is your important audiences. We're going to talk about the right platforms to communicate your message. It can be social media, but it can also be traditional media. And also about your own message. What is it about? How do you frame it to reach out to as many people as possible? Each week will be uploaded in the beginning, so you will be able to access lectures, videos, readings, etc. at the beginning of each week. You won't be able to see the content in beforehand. And you will have on each week exercises that will help you with all the material, discussion forums where you can share ideas, questions, etc. with the rest of the learners. And of course, we're going to be around to help you all with the material that we bring to you.
Thank you, Natalia. And so that's a huge amount of content to cover. But don't worry, this will be taking it step by step and giving the tools that you need. And the only way we can do that in such an open way with a lot of people from all around the world joining this course is through this online platform that allows us to interact online. So Daniel, can you please take us on a little tour and show us how to use this platform?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. And so you'll be able to see the course platform. So before I go forward, I just want to confirm. All right. So when you sign in, the very first page that you'll see as a student is the home page. And so this has some basic information about European Changemaker. One thing I want to note before I go any further is by joining this course, you will follow the ICNC honor code. And so we simply have an honor code to make sure that people are following an appropriate manner when they are interacting with other people in the course. So what we're asking is that when you are in this course, you are going to treat other participants with respect, even if you disagree with their opinion. And so you want to approach all discussions with a spirit of curiosity and dialogue. And if there are instances where there is something that you see as inappropriate content, then you can contact us and we will handle those on a case-by-case basis. But we want to make sure that you know that it is on you as a registrant in this course to follow this honor code. The other thing I will note here is, as someone on ICNC course, you do not have the permission to share other people's content or their discussion without their consent. So for example, if I see a discussion post from someone, they say something really profound, I cannot share that without asking them before to share that on some other social media site. And so in everything you do, just make sure you show respect to other people. And remember that unless you've been given permission, everything that is said within this course is supposed to stay within the course itself. If there are things that you feel like you're unsure if they fall underneath the honor code or not, please contact us. We can handle that on a case-by-case basis. So what I'm going to show you right now is how to navigate through this online course. So at the very beginning of the course, you'll see IC&C resources. So we've provided some free resources for you that you can access throughout the course. The first is our blog, Minds of the Movement. We update this almost every single week. These are short blog posts by different authors from all around the world. I'd recommend coming back here and checking this page often so you can see some of the new blog posts. We have different series that we're going through. Some of these may be of interest to different people. Another free resource we have is our Nonviolent Conflict News. This is a way for you to stay up to date to what's happening globally in the world of nonviolence. Again, we update this on a regular basis, so you can always come back to this unit to see what we've had here. As you can see, to move on to the next unit, I'm going to be clicking on the next button here. And if I wanted to go back to a previous unit, I would just click on Previous. One other resource we have is our academic online curriculum, which is free to anybody. So we have over 40 different sections with PowerPoints, videos, PDFs, references for offline reading, going over 40 different topics related to civil resistance. It's a great resource, and we really recommend that you sign up for it. And everything you find on the academic online curriculum is free for you to use. Lastly, I just want to mention we have a resource library where we keep track of resources on civil resistance. We have these in over 60 languages. And so you are more than likely to find that your language, if you want to find something written in your native language, you'll find that in the resource library. So I'm going to go over here to the side menu, click on Course Introduction, and then click on Welcome to the Course. This is simply another way that you can navigate besides using the previous and the next arrows. So this first unit has the introduction webinar. To move on to the Introduce Yourself unit, I could click on Next, or I can click here directly on Introduce Yourself to go directly to that unit. You can also navigate by clicking on the icons at the top of the page. So earlier, Natalia referred to a map. This is the map that she is referring to. You can add your location by clicking on that plus symbol here. You can enter your name and then your location here. You can also change the color of your marker if you want to. If you want to add more details, feel free to add them here. Just remember, everything that you share on here will be visible to other course participants. So I'm going to show you a discussion forum. So to create a discussion post, you click on Show Discussion, Add Post. And this is a example of a post I'm going to make right here. You'll give your post a title. You'll add your content here. You can add a link. You can add images. You can format it. And I'm going to make sure that this check mark is checked, which says follow this post. I'm going to click on Submit. So you see, here's my discussion post. This blue star means that I'm following the post. And later on, I'll show you why it's really important to follow your post, not other people's posts. Post. And you can type in replies here. If you want to add a comment, you can do so as well. So if we go back up to the top of the page and go to discussion, you'll see all the discussions are listed here. You can click on posts I'm following. You see here is the post that I just created. This is an easy way to make sure that you're staying track of the posts that are relevant to you. In an online course like this, there can be a lot of different posts, and so it can be hard to follow sometimes. You want to make sure that you're able to follow all the ones that you want to. So the last thing I want to show you is how to receive updates. So I want to make sure that you can receive daily digest updates by using these checkboxes. So with all posts, if you check this box, every day you'll get an email digest with all new discussion posts for you to go through and read. If you check this box, you'll receive an email digest with only the posts that you are following. So you can choose to either receive posts from every person who's been making a discussion post or just the ones that you want to follow. So I would recommend choosing one of these two options. I always do all posts just because I want to see what people are saying. Then I go through and choose the discussions that I want to be a part of. So I think the only other thing that I want to show people that would be valuable is that we have a search bar here if you want to learn how to search for something. So if you're looking for a keyword or certain content, you can use this. And then you can bookmark certain parts of the course. And this way, you can easily return to a page later on if for some reason you have to stop studying really quickly. So I've bookmarked the introduction. I click on bookmarks, and it shows up here. So this is just an easy way to help you navigate throughout the important parts of the course. So that's a brief tutorial. You can find more information online. We do use Open edX. And so if you want to find out more information on how to navigate the course, you can use Open edX's resources, which are available for you online for free. So unless there are any questions from you, Carl, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now.
All right, thank you. So we did get a question in about certificates and so forth for this course. And on behalf of the European Changemakers, we have decided that for this course, which is the first one that we are trying to use, to not issue certificates. We want to make sure this reaches as many people as possible. However, that is something that we will be keeping in mind for future courses that we're hosting. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that guide. I think that's very, very valuable. And if there's any other questions or discussions that come up after this webinar, please remember that there's also a discussion forum underneath this video in the introduction to the course where you can add in more technical questions or questions on content that we'll try to answer as quickly as possible. It's important to remember that we're going to be quite a lot of people in this course, and that as moderators, we're not going to have time to be able to give you individual or feedback on everything, which is why peer feedback and the support that you give each other is going to be key for the learnings. Basically, in an online course like this, what you put into the course is what you get out of it. And that sort of interaction is dependent on you reaching out, engaging with other students, and answering questions in discussion forums and engaging each other, because we are all together the best teachers on these issues. Before we wrap it up, I just want to say that I'm very, very grateful for you if you come this far, that you're part of this, taking this course, and to remember that when we're facing all these incredible large issues in society, all these big crises, what has ever only made a difference is people organizing to create change. And that can be a very daunting perspective to do. So what we hope is that together over the next 5 or so weeks is to take a look at how we can do the basics, building campaign strategy, building groups to create that sort of change together. And one thing to note is that starting in week 2, you'll be able to choose a case to work on. Now, we're going to provide some more generic cases in case you don't have the time or not working on something specific in your community right now. But if there is something real, a real problem, a real issue that you'd like to see changed, please select that and please create your own case around it. And you can build this course step by step and expanding a campaign plan of how to address it. And the dream scenario, of course, is if you feel confident and if you've found other people to engage with, you can take what you learned in this course and apply it to create that change in your community. And all of us doing that together is how we're going to see the change we want to see in the world. So a big thank you of being part of the first online course, this prototype with European Changemakers. Big thank you to ITNC for hosting us and being a part of this. And we're looking forward to seeing you in the course and seeing with all these amazing ideas, campaigns, and causes that you can come up with. And hope to interact with you further in the next couple of weeks. So from me, from Natalia and Daniel, thank you very much, and talk to you soon.